Hey guys, so I usually like to wait for the official stuff to come out in game to take a look and do my breakdown videos, but I don't have time today to wait for the game. For whatever reason, they take so long to push like the data in, so we'll just take a look at the data mines here. Everything should be accurate. The only thing we're not going to be able to see here are the equipment and also the stats on Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta here, but I think we should be able to get a good grasp as to how good he'll be by taking a look at just his base kit here and then comparing it to what he's going to be getting from the ZENKAI Awakening. So let's just go ahead and jump in right away. I'm not going to try to make this too long. So his main ability, draw the Limmer's card 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha next, restores on health by 35% and ki by 50. 35. Okay, it goes up by 5%. Gets one card draw speed level for 20 counts, cannot be canceled, and then nullifies own unfavorable element factors for 40 counts. These might have gained cannot be canceled. Yeah, they did. Okay. So not really too crazy of a buff on the main, which is fine. It was already probably pretty good enough. All right, so the unique ability number 1, Pinnacle of Power, applies the following effects to self when battle starts. 80% damage, reduced next damage sustained by 30%. Increased card draw speed by 1 level. Did he always have card draw speed? I don't feel like he did. Yeah, he didn't. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so they lowered this, which means they probably added it to the baseline damage reduction. Minus what a strike and blast arts cost, nullifies abnormal conditions. Okay, so the cost reduction is also new. So he's going to get double card draw speed when he pops the main. That's interesting. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Restores ki by 30. Did you always have 30? Yeah, 30, okay. 50% damage inflicted. So he's going from 60-50 to 80-50. Reduced damage received by 50%. Yeah, so that goes up from 30 to 50. So what they did is they basically moved 20% from this, like, one-time damage reduction buff to the baseline damage reduction, which is really good. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty nice. Nullifies attribute downgrades for 15 timer counts, activates 3 times, nullifies unfavorable element factor for damage sustained for 15 counts. Oh, he goes type neutral defensively for 15 counts. That's... Oh, we already had that. Why did I forget about that? You know what's interesting about this is not going to be that useful right now because there's not going to be a ton of purple units. I actually completely forgot that he even had this. Okay. I mean, sure. That's nice to have, though, because eventually we're going to get good purple units. This game loves purple, so. All right, so the second unique ability knocks enemy back to long range with cover change performed against their strike or blast, so he has a double cover change. And then, of course, we know that he's not going to be able to chain that with the blue card. Applies the following effects to enemy when performing a special cover change. Seals one card. This is new. I don't think he had this. Yeah. Seals one card slot randomly. The sealed card slot cannot be used for 10 counts. And then they also get -1 to card draw speed for 10 counts. Okay. I mean, that's annoying. Applies the following effects to self when causing a character with revives when health reaches 0. Effect to revive while this character is on the battlefield. Restores health by 20%. And then increase Dragon Balls by 2. Which I think is the same, yeah. Don't forget that his equipment also then gives him 50% permanent damage and 2 more Dragon Balls when he triggers a revive. So with that equipment on, he's getting 20% HP, 4 Dragon Balls, and then 50% permanent uncancelable damage. So this guy is going to be looking pretty good if the opponent is using revival characters. The one character that's going to still be able to sort of withstand this guy's Rising Rush, though, is going to be Goku and Bardock. So, yeah, Goku and Bardock continue to be ridiculous. And then this is new. The following effects occur every time when faced with an enemy. 10% damage for 10 counts, 50% to ki recovery. Okay, that's really good. For 5 counts, and then reduce enemy ki by 10. Sure. Okay. Those are the existing unique abilities. I feel like he actually did gain some pretty substantial buffs here, which is nice to see. We know his ZENKAI ability is going to be Fusion Warriors. But let's take a look. Yeah, here we go. Green Fusion Warrior, which they already talked about this, so we knew that. Let's take a look and see what his new unique abilities are. So we have an aura worthy of the strongest. Applies the following effects to self if enemy health is 50% or below when this character enters the battlefield. So this is more of an offensive mechanic. Restores ki by 30, which is going to stack on top of this 30. So he's going to get 60 ki on entry there. Minus 30% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 5 counts. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. There are 2 defeated enemy battle members. Draws the ultimate arts card 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha next. So we could actually draw an additional ultimate if there's 1 enemy left. And he's going to get enough ki to use it as well. So, and then he's going to get 50% to critical rate for 5 counts. And nullify enemies, destroy card effects. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're essentially setting him up to be able to get the LF, I guess, with this. Okay. And then even if it's like a revival character that's the last man standing, I mean, this guy's going to be doing pretty good if he procs the revive, so yeah. Okay, then the 4th unique ability is Power to turn Despair into Hope. Applies the following effects to allied tag GT or Fusion Warrior when this character is switched to Standby. Health by 5%. Okay, thank God they didn't limit this. I hate when they have characters that are like supporting or healing and it's like limited to a certain number of times. Like it makes no sense. So I'm really happy they didn't limit this. 5% healing whenever he switches out is really nice for the whole team. 20% damage inflicted for 20 counts. Cancels attribute downgrades. Activates twice. Okay. And then the following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. There is a defeated tag GT or Fusion Warrior battle member. Applies buff effect, nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover to self for 10 counts. Restores allied tag GT or Fusion Warrior health by 10%. Okay, so there's more healing. But this is the only place he's getting cover nullification in his unique abilities. Remember, he does get cover nullification with his green card. But this is very similar actually to the yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who also gets cover nullification on having a dead ally. So that is good to know. And it's also only when there's a defeated GT or Fusion Warrior ally as well. It's not, any Saiyan or anything like that. Okay, so the blue card is the Big Bang Kamehameha. Massive impact damage, 40% special move damage for 3 counts. And then on hit, he draws another blue card and gets 50 ki. And I think that's the same. What changed? Maybe damage went up a little bit? Yeah, this goes from 30 to 40. That's all that changed, I think, right? Yeah, 30 to 40. Okay. I mean, honestly, this blue card was already really good. Didn't really need to change, but that's good. And then the green card is following effects upon activation, 50 ki. Was it always 50 ki? I feel like probably it was. Yeah. 50 ki, 30% damage, so that goes up from 20. Okay. Gets cover null for 10 counts. And then on hits, he destroys all of your enemy's cards, cancel enemy attribute upgrades, activates 3 times. This might have went up, actually. Was this always 3 times? No, it went up from 2 times. Yeah, okay. So it got some minor buffs. Again, I didn't really think this is a green card that really needed like some crazy overhaul. It was already pretty decent. So we don't have the ultimate arts card on here, but I imagine it's probably not going to change a ton. Massive impact damage, 30% special move damage inflicted. And then on hit, he draws a green card and gets ki back. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. My bad. This is the real ultimate. Supreme damage, 50% to ultimate damage, and then 100% to enemy sustained damage. Yeah, this doesn't really need any changes to it. I think this is probably not going to be changed at all. Especially considering he draws another one now when the enemy is the last man standing. So, okay. I mean, he seems very good. I honestly think he looks a little better than I even thought he would. But I'm a little bit questioning whether or not this guy's going to make it onto the core Fusion Warrior team over Pikkon. And this might be a hot take, I guess, but I don't know if this is the best time to drop this guy. And that's not because I don't want GT to get buffs. It's not because I don't like Gogeta. It has nothing to do with that. Purely from the standpoint of the meta right now, we just got a premium green Fusion Warrior. This guy's ZENKAI buff is buffing Fusion Warriors. And I can't imagine this guy would be replacing Pikkon on Fusion Warriors. I can't picture that, right? I don't see it happening. So it's weird to me that they would drop this guy's Zenkai Awakening and give him the Fusion Warrior Zenkai ability, where he's not going to be, like, that's not going to be his team. The Fusion Warrior team is not, at least for now, I would say, the Fusion Warrior team is not going to be his team. You know, we're about to jump into a GT episode campaign, right? Seems a little strange that he would be buffing Fusion Warriors with the Zenkai ability, but he'll probably be a go-to on GT, sorry. The only question I have here is, like, this guy technically is a defense type, and I'm just trying to think, like, is he really going to be good enough without, like, endurance or something? So this is what this means is that we're going to be looking for some kind of, like, reviving character for GT. Some kind of revival. Maybe if they want to give Indestructible to, like, a new GT character or something, that would be really helpful. But you can't have, like, your only defensive character on the team can't not have, like, revival or endurance or Indestructible. Like, you have to have something like that to be able to not just get rushed, right? So we'll see how they handle GT, but this guy definitely is looking pretty strong. We'll see how he performs in game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Zenkai, and I will see you all in the next one.